I finally stumbled upon something that's a really good price and a vehicle that I have always enjoyed. It's just never had enough power. Welcome to LS-86. Now this is not what it looked like when we picked it up. It is a salvage rebuild title vehicle, but that's okay. We're gonna rebuild this thing. We're gonna make it bigger and better than it ever has been. This here is the damage report. This box here is where the lower control arm mounts to, and it is ever so slightly pushed in, creased right here on the back. That's okay, there's a frame shop around the block. He's gonna measure the strut tires, make sure all that's squared away. I think we're in the clear. For like 35 miles an hour. Once I knew the frame was straight from the frame shop, we got this thing back and we started putting together the core support. I was able to get all this structure here for $70. All Toyota parts got from Toyota dealer. Everything's gonna fit perfect. Now that I know that the frame is straight and we have some body panels on there to resemble a car, I obviously don't have a garage. I'm working in a carport. So I gave my good friend James a call to see if he could help me out with this project. I've come over here to my buddy James's place. Time to get things started. Drain fluid, remove the junk. The boxer 4-cylinder transmission. Get that thing out of here and get this thing started prepped for the new LS. Let's get to it. Before we get this thing up on the rack, I think it's gonna be a good idea to get these doors open. We're gonna take out the center console so we can have access to the shifter, and then it'll be easy once it's on the rack to just pull the transmission and everything out of here. Well, that's broken. Girl. The FRS DRZ GT86 is a vehicle that I've always enjoyed, especially when they're wide-bodied. This is a good time to break into the LS platform. Big torquey V8 power in this tiny little lightweight chassis. It's going to be so much fun and I cannot wait. That was weird. It had like some type of suction on it. It was like... Trans fluid looks pretty good though. Normally people would start out with something like suspension, chassis, wheels, tires, you know, all that good stuff. I'm going straight for horsepower, ass backwards, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you just go straight for the power goal and worry about the other stuff down the road. So that's where we're going. Taking the boxer engine out was a breeze. These things come out super simple, and you'll see later on that there is a ton of room in the engine bay for this LS. Peace out, baby. Now that we've got the engine and the transmission out of the vehicle, this bracket is what supports the stock transmission. We have to actually drill out the spot welds and taking this whole bracketry off out of the tunnel. So that is the next order of operation we got to do. There might actually be 2 layers to this, so that's going to be a little tricky. Only thing to do is get to it, I suppose. Getting all of these freaking spot welds off of here. Finally have success after, I don't even know. What's it been, an hour? What time did you leave? Hour and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, lots of drilling, spot welds out of there. Now we just gotta clean up. I'm gonna spend some time getting all these little metal nipples out of here. Do a little steel it or something to get this all protected from the elements. Should be good to go. We've got everything ground down, at least as good as I'd like it to be. Just got some fresh primer on there, that's why it looks a little bit wet and streaky at the moment. Tunnel is now cleared out, ready for that big old T56. Have I not mentioned that yet? We are going T56 Magnum on this build. Joel from Grannis Racing, he just come together and created kits for all different types of chassis, mainly 2J as well as LS swaps and whatever it is you have. This is an all-inclusive kit. They've got everything from the bell housing to the clutch, drive shaft. We have indexing plates. This is really everything you need to get your swap together. For us, it's an LS and a BRZ, and we are running a T56 magnum-f. This is going to position the shifter really close, if not perfectly, in our tunnel. Go check out Grandis Racing. See if they have a setup or a swap kit for your vehicle. They also have 488 rear diffs, tons of options, worth checking out. Let's get to it. One thing that's really gonna help me out in staying organized on this project, now we're at a point to where we're doing so many little things all at once, make yourself a little bit of a list. Got ourselves a twin disc McLeod clutch. Should be plenty of holding power for the naturally aspirated 6-liter we got going in there. Kind of cool. This is actually my first twin disc clutch that I've ever used. Never done a twin disc before, so it'll be interesting to try that out. Or McLeod? Maybe it's McLeod. So after we made all those measurements, we have 7 thousandths. You divide it in half because that would be total run out for the alignment here. So we're looking at 0.0035. That is within the spec of 5 thousandths. We're good to slap everything back together. We are indexed, no need for dowel pins. Now that the pilot bearing has been pushed in there, everything's good. All of the flywheel bolts have been torqued already. It is time to clean surfaces and reassemble the clutch for the final time. Well, I sure hope so, at least. The final time. Well, this was my first time ever going through a process like this, adjusting the throwout bearing for the slave cylinder clutch combination here from Tilton 6000 series. Did all my measurements here, and I believe I am right in with spec. I can now get this mated to the transmission. Oh, the glory. Like a glove. Now that the transmission and the engine are now one unit, another piece we got to do here is get the master cylinder recess installed here, because the cylinder head fits right up here. You can't fit the stock master cylinder out here and have room for the cylinder head on this side. Now we can get the master cylinder. Should just slide right in there, nice and flush. So that's going to tuck this guy up and out of the way. The wiring situation here, and I'm going to move, this is what used to go to the engine on top. I'm going to get this and curl it up and out of the way. All the wiring here now is reloomed, tucked away. We don't have that extra piece hanging down, so that's nice. Another item to this list is going to be the Chase Bays OEMC. We're going to keep the master brake booster here, but we do want to upgrade the lines. We're going to get rid of the ABS unit, get rid of all these hard lines here. Now I am going to have to remove this module here and have it plugged in. That way I can get a translator for the Haltech ECU. It's going to allow the Haltech and the CAN, the factory CAN system, to work everything. I can even have cruise control. As to how it was before versus now, this cleans up this whole area in the engine bay. We've got our bias valve here. One product I've always used and trusted is Deechworks fuel system components. Everything's going to be super plug and play. We've got connectors, we've got O-rings, we've got fuel pump, and then right here in this little box we have a fuel regulator. They actually sit inside of the pump housing. I think they come from the factory around 58 or something like that PSI. This should bump it up a few more, give us a little bit more headroom for fueling. Using all factory components and just upgrading the pump and the regulator itself, I feel way more confident in the fueling system. We've got a DW300 inside of this factory fuel hanger, as well as their fuel pressure regulator, making sure everything's going to work perfectly. It is official. I have knocked off every item on the list for the weekend. I knew it was going to be super beneficial to push through the weekend and get through all these little items as quickly as possible. Yeah, I mean, I can start putting in things like the interior, getting the shifter in, and then focusing on where we're going to place the ECU and where we're going to run the harness through the firewall. We're going to have a bunch of good electrical items to install from Haltech. We've got the Rebel LS ECU. We've got all these goodies here. These are the terminated connectors for different kind of setups you have. This is going to be a Gen 4 full engine wiring harness. We got to figure out where that thing's going to be going through the firewall, because we do still want to keep the factory fuse box, tying in with a translator using CAN to talk to the Haltech. I've decided I'm going to actually take the car home. Every single weekend I've had to have a game plan when I come into James's shop to get those items done. But I do believe that it's very important to have the time to stare at your car and figure out where everything needs to go. So we are going to get this thing. I've already got some of the front end trim on it, so we're going to see how much this thing weighs. Really curious. What are we sitting at? 26?
26.15.
That's pretty dang good.
Yeah, 54 on the rear.
That's better than I was expecting.
54 on the front, 45 on the rear.
I was for sure thinking more 2,800 pounds. 26, that is only 300 pounds more than my Miata.
Yeah.
That is wild.
You still need fuel, you still need battery, you still need coolant, and a few other odds and ends. That's pretty cool, man.
That's pretty cool. We are now back at the house, and I have got to update you guys on a few different things. You can see that we have the full front bumper, the front hood, and also the passenger side fender. They are now fully painted. Everything's looking really good. Shout out to Hauser Auto Body and Paint. They did a fantastic job. So outside of cosmetics, things like the interior are now back together. We've got an awesome placement for the shifter. You can see how the Grannis Racing kit has the shifter located so good in here, and everything feels really nice. We've even got fluid in the transmission. It is ready to go. I've even got fluid in the engine. Oh yeah. Everything has gotten super tidied up in here. So it has taken several weeks. Like I said, it's been a long time since the last clip when we left James's place. Sicky has finally sent us the headers. It has taken 8 weeks for those things to show up. A lot of time was spent with the harness. I've ran all new power cables to the starter, tried to get everything loomed up in a very factory manner, tucked up and tidied away. I spent a lot of time fiddling around, just figuring out where I wanted the wiring to go, and that's what I was talking about as far as you need to stare at your project. You need time to see where you want things to fit. You'll try one thing and then you realize you kind of want to change it up. But I think I have the situation in here running pretty cleanly. The Haltech engine harness runs all the way up here, and it goes down here where the factory grommet is for the wiring harness into the cabin. And then on the passenger side here, all we're waiting on is the AGT Engineering translator. I have that Rebel LS Haltech mounted where the factory ECU used to go, all the way up in the dash here. So all said and done, we are super close. It's finally shown. This right here is just about the last item that I need to get this thing running. This is the translator I've been talking about. Factory ECU. Now this isn't an ECU, but it allows all the connections to become one, if you will. Just like that. Heck yeah, that works out pretty well. All right, well I've just finished setting up, or at least plugging in all the items from the translator. Got my Haltech cable here. Waiting for updates. Why is it every time that you go to use your laptop to do tuning and you're like in a rush and you want to get something done, there's always an update every single time. Without question, there's going to be some type of an update. This might be the first startup. I really hope this works. What? Holy cow. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to run for a minute. Try one more time. I also there's a few things I gotta change. I'll get back to you. It's been another day and I've had some time. I've actually just put coolant in the car. Now we get to actually let this thing run, sit and idle, get it up to operating temperature. Like I don't have a wideband yet on the car, so we're not gonna be able to go rip it because I need those values to see if it's rich or lean. We might be able to go down the road a little bit, see if we have gears, and make sure everything's happy before we get the exhaust sorted and we can actually get this thing on the road.
Do we want to hear it? Do your neighbors want to hear it?
First drive down the street.
I'll get the fire extinguisher.
Hell yeah, brother. Drives like shit, but that's a great time. I mean, guys, that was the first time it's ever had load on it. Like I said, no O2 sensor at all. It's just kind of going off the out-of-the-box Haltech tune, but that's cool. We know the concept works, and we can move forward from there.
Very nice, Frank.
And I'ma do it again. Watch me win. Then watch me do it again.